Hi friends, so I hope you enjoyed your English grammar session. So today we are again at your own learning platform, Learn Forward with your grammar book, The Grammar Hub for Grade 8 by Feathercap. And today we'll be starting chapter 2 of your book, in which, not a new topic for you. Yes, determiners, you have already learned the basics in grade 7 and I'm sure you now know what are determiners. So let's know more about them today. So what are distributives? Distributive word. Distribute means dividing something, right? So distributive word comes from there. So when we are talking about some group, but still we are talking about one each individually, that comes under distributives. For example, it's a whole class here of almost 35 students, but I want that each child should give the notebook. So I can also say everybody has to give the notebook. I can say all have to give the notebook, right? I'm saying everybody, I'm saying each student. So that means I am talking about all of you individually, right? So I want perfect 35 notebooks here. This is the meaning of distributives. So what are the words that are used as distributives? We have each, every, either, neither. These are the distributives. So when do we use each, every? We use each when we think of things separately. Like just now I said, I want each notebook on my table. That means the entire class, but still from individual student, right? So talk to each child. That means without exception, we have to talk to each one of you. Then we use every when we think of things as a group. Like every child needs love and protection, right? So we are talking about all of you as a group, though individually, but not as specific as each. In each, it refers to without exception. If you say, I have read each word of the composition, that means you didn't miss out any word there. So you read it word by word. But if you say, I have read every word of your composition, that means you go for it in a stretch, right? So it might be you just marked out something, you left something, but you are not so particular as you are when you refer to each. Coming to next, we use each for a small number. Yes, that is also important. When the number is less, we use each. So preferably for 2, or at least it should be a limited number even in the group. So it should be limited and it should be definite. Like every is used when the number is large enough. Each side of the square has same length. So there are just 4. It's okay. It's a limited number. That's why we say each side. And then every Indian must be proud of his, her country. So it's a big number here. That is why we are using every, though still we are talking about the Indians individually, right? Coming to next is either. Now, either has two meanings. What are those? Any of the two different, whatever we are talking of. Suppose I say, either road leads to my school. That means there are two ways. I can use any of them. You can take either bus. That means whichever is coming, you can take any of them. So the first meaning is any of the two. You can take, the same example here. You can take either bus. Either book can serve my purpose equally well. That means whatever topic you are looking for, you will get in both the books. You can read any of them. Now, the other thing is both. So when we talk about either, it also refers to both. Like tall multi-story buildings have come up on either side of the road. That means these multi-story buildings are there. They are constructed on both the sides of the road. Okay, so we have got two meanings. One is any of the two, and in the other context, we refer to both. Fine. Coming to next is neither, and it is just the opposite of either. It means neither candidate deserves our support. That means none of them, right? So here any of the two, here that there it is, none of them. And we should take neither side. That means not any of them. Neither this nor the other one. So neither is just the opposite in meaning and usage to either. I hope that was easy. So we have an exercise. Complete these sentences with either, neither, each, or every. And remember, in some cases, more than one choice is also possible. So let's see. Why are you in such a hurry? Dash time I see you. Every time I see you. So it's like it happens very frequently, right? So the number is large. There were huge bamboo trees on dash side of the road. There were huge bamboo trees on both sides. You want to say that means on either side of the road, right? You can also say neither side because might be there are no bamboo trees on any of those. So you can even say neither side. Next, the pamphlets are meant for dash visitor. For every visitor is correct because the number of visitors will be big enough. Next, it's a pity that dash dress fits pummy. Neither dress, because we are talking about pity, that is a negativity here. It means none of them. That neither dress fits pummy. Next, dash side of a rhombus has the same length. Each side, just like we said about each side of a square, each side of a rhombus also. There is an autumn sale in dash shop in this shopping mall. So in shopping mall, we do not have just two. We are not talking about either, right? So what can be? It can be sale in every is also possible because might be the number of shops is very big. Each is also possible because you might be saying about each particularly that without exception each shop is putting the things on sale, right? So both are possible here. And then yes, it can be neither also. That means in none of the shops. There is an autumn sale in neither shop in this shopping mall. That can also go, but we go for every and each. We are talking about the sale in positive way. Fine. So what next after this is the quantifiers, and as the name suggests, quantifiers means we are telling about quantity. We have already learnt about adjectives of quantity, so they are the same here. So they can be used for countable as well as uncountable. We use many, several, few. These are used with plural countable nouns, right? Because we are talking about counting them. Now, much and little, they refer to something which is uncountable, children, like much work, little hope, right? Next, the words some and any. These are the words which can be used with countables as well as uncountables. So it depends which noun are you talking about. Like some houses, if I say houses are countable, so this becomes countable. I don't have any money. Money, you remember I told you in your earlier grades, money is not countable. Rupees are countable, but money is not countable. Wealth is not countable because apart from rupees, apart from currency, it includes much more. So this is uncountable. We don't say I have 5 money in my purse. I have 500 money in my purse, right? So we just mean to say this is about I don't have any money, means it is uncountable. Now, we also use any when we wish to suggest that we are not looking for something specific. For example, we can watch any movie. That means there's a lot of choice. You can pick up any from there. Right, children? So, moving ahead is little, a little, the little, then few, a few, the few. So, we'll just put them in two categories. This is used for uncountables. This is used for countables, right? Now, what is the difference? When we talk about them without article, it means something which is not of a good amount, right? It can be countable or uncountable. That means not sufficient. This is used for uncountables and this is used for countables, not sufficient. When we say a little or a few, we mean to say we have some which is sufficient. And when we mean to say the little, the few, it means whatever little we have, less quantity we had, that is all gone, or whatever is done, it is done to all of it. Like there was little support for the strike, that means hardly anybody supported. At least somebody supported, we still have a little money with us. That means at least this much is there that we can fulfill whatever we want to do with money. And the little means whatever is done, it is done to all. So the little rice that the shopkeeper showed me was of an inferior quality. That means he already had no rice. Whatever little quantity was there, it was not good enough, right? So the entire whatever quantity was there, we are talking about it. Same happens with few, a few, the few, but that is for something which is countable. This TV channel is not good. It shows few good programs. That means the number of programs is not good enough. It's almost negligible. Last evening, I went to the cinema with a few friends. That means the number was good enough. We enjoyed. And the few trees left on the hillside do not bear any fruit. That means already they have been cut down. Only few are left. But still, all those, whatever small number is there, even they don't bear any fruit. I hope this difference is clear. So let's move ahead quickly. Fill in the blanks with suitable quantifiers. We have already done about these. Know the differences now. So I hope you can do this exercise. Okay, in the next, complete these sentences using determiners from the box below. We have few, a few, the few, little, a little, the little. So we have learned the difference. Let's quickly do this. This road through the forest was hardly used at all, and dash cars passed this way. That means few, negligible, because it was hardly used, right? Next, dash tourists did come trekking to watch rare birds. So the tourists used to come. That was a good number of tourists. That means a few tourists. However, with industries growing rapidly in the vicinity, dash birds that inhabit. Already they are talking that the birds were rare, but whatever birds were there, we are talking about all of them. So the few birds that used to live here, right? They will soon disappear. Sorry, not the birds, the few birds. Next, I spent dash money that I had on buying dash pure honey. I spent money, whatever you had. So it is the little, because money, I told you, is not countable. The little money that I had on buying pure honey. So what will come here? On buying little pure money, a little pure money, or the little pure money? Honey, sorry. Honey is uncountable, we'll be using here. That means you could, whatever you could get, that was not too much, it was but then enough. Next, pure honey is not easy to come by because people care dash about protecting bees. People hardly care. That means people care little about. Yes, right? So this is what we mean by not sufficient. Now next is interrogatives, and they are all question words which are followed by nouns like what train, which basket, whose bat, what book. So they are basically interrogative adjectives. We have to complete these sentences with what, which, or whose. So I think you can do this exercise. Dash style did he use in his writing? Whose style you can say, which style also you can say. So you have a variety. Let's do third one. Dash are you reading these days? What are you reading these days? But then children, let me tell you, because the interrogative is not followed by a noun, so it will not be, although it is an interrogative word, but it will not be your determiner. Dash curtains do you like the most? Yes, which curtains do you like the most? So good. Here it will be a determiner and interrogative. So rest two, you can just go ahead yourself. Let's move and we'll quickly revise what we have done. Determiner is a word that is used before a noun to determine it. That means to point it out. These are articles, demonstratives, quantifiers, possessives, interrogatives, and they are functional elements of structure and they are not formal word classes. So definite and indefinite articles, I told you, definite is the, indefinite is an. And demonstratives words are this, that, these, those, they are the pointers. Then we talked about possessive adjectives, my, your, his, her, its, our, dear, like this. Then distributives, we refer to all, still we go individually. And then quantifiers tell you about the quantity. They may be for countable, they may be for uncountable. And then interrogative determiners, they are the question words followed by nouns. So this was all we learnt about determiners. Tick the correct answer. A determiner is a word that identifies or specifies a noun, comes before a noun, limits its meaning, and all of these. Of course, all of these. Which article is used before a word beginning with a vowel sound? Yes, you are right. And our district has dash university of its own, U sound. It's not a vowel sound. So, a university. The definite article the is used with the adjective of which degree? Superlative. Perfect. I know dash thief who has stolen your money. You know thief. That means you are talking about particular. Yes. Can you lend me dash sugar? So you are talking about some negligible amount. That means little sugar, right? And then we have an exercise. Read the given sentences, underline the determiners and write their types. We have already done the categories. I hope you can do that. Book is mine. Perfect. That is which determiner? You have to tell. That is a demonstrative. The first one is the article. And here it is demonstrative. Coming to next, those flats are newly constructed. This is again demonstrative. So you can do this exercise, easy one. And remember, there can be more than one determiner also. Like here, every is distributive and his motherland. So this is possessive. So there can be more than one. Be careful. Fill in the blanks with correct determiners. And the choice is already given here. Very easy for you to do. Okay, that's interesting, and it sounds that you have understood the topic well. We'll be coming ahead with more interesting topics in grammar with Mini. Till then, happy learning, children.